No, I'm fine. Listen, I don't care if she's a neurosurgeon or if she's a goddamn $100 million trust fund.
Dog, every single season that I put myself through of Love is Blind, I walk away with one and only one conclusion. And that's that all men have is audacity, and women who too hot up to get married is cost herself, okay? Run the theme song, Aaron.
Black independent, strongest in women. It's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay now. I know that I'm worth it, so make sure to listen. It's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay.
Let me tell y'all something. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I hate Love is Blind. I hate it. And like when I say I hate it, I mean, it's not a good show. Like, not even in the sense that I'm not one of those people who's just like so disappointed because we've gotten away from finding love and blah, blah, blah. And season 1, there was Cameron and Lauren. And no. I don't subscribe to none of that. Love is Blind just ain't even entertaining. Like, it's very boring. The pods go on for way too long. I just have to fast forward through that. The couples that they choose to give the most screen time, it's like, Jesus, why? What is this? It's whack. It's whack, okay? And usually every season I gotta fast forward through all these boring white couples. But this season I couldn't even save myself no time because all of these boring white couples. At this point, we gotta do an independent racial investigation of Love is Blind because this season, for as many black women as was in that house, we didn't get one black couple. We got one black person in a couple. I thought we abolished separate but equal. No, we didn't abolish that because please explain to me why Christine and Vic got 11 minutes. And I ain't even telling y'all no exaggeration. There's quite literally an Instagram page that actually ran the time, like the amount of screen time for each individual and each couple. Vic and Christine got 11 minutes. They gave them 11 minutes of coverage as a couple throughout the season. They didn't let them go to Malibu with everybody else. They literally had them. The cameras followed all the other couples, and Vic and Christine had to film themselves on their own phone. The gag is, it felt like Vic and Christine is the first couple we met, the most serious and steady couple of the season, and they say, y'all ain't get no screen time. Literally, all the other couples went to Malibu. Vic and Christine went to California. The cameras didn't even follow them. They just had their phones to say, hey, we here, and that's it. They didn't get an apartment together. They didn't get no screen time. Love is Blind have to explain themselves. And I've seen them put in some articles, it's been like, oh, we didn't have the budget. Love is Blind, what has been making millions of dollars for 10 seasons on Netflix. Listen, you know the amount of lawsuit we done see. We already know y'all making bank off these people that y'all pay shillings and in prison for these experiments and ruin their life and cause them all kind of divorce. They have all type of money. They had the nerve to fix their mouth and say they didn't have the budget for Christine and Vic. They said, oh, they only had the budget for 5 couples and 6 was already pushing it and Vic and Christine make 7. So what y'all want me to believe, Netflix, is that y'all had 7 couples getting ready to go through the experiment and y'all said, one of these couples we can't afford to treat good. Let me pick the one with the black man. That's what you're telling me? That's what you're telling me? It's giving anti-miscegenation laws. It's giving you don't with Loving versus Virginia. What the fuck is that about? That's actually crazy, you know. That's actually crazy. Loved it. Beautiful. 10s all around. Honestly, their wedding was really beautiful, and seeing Vic's mom come, Vic's Caribbean mother, I loved it. Seeing his mummy, the interaction and the conversation between him and his mummy, him and his sister, the different family, I really loved Christine's mummy. I'm gonna say I really, really liked them. And I know there's been a lot of criticism online because people have the criticism they have because they're an interracial couple and they feel like, oh, Vic could have chosen a black woman. There was multiple black women in the pods, blah, 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 blah. I hear y'all, and everybody is entitled to their own feelings and their different perceptions of how they see it. I'll say this. At the end of the day, I don't think there's anything inherently problematic or inherently wrong with people being in interracial relationships or choosing to be in interracial relationships or happening to find love with people who are outside of their race. I think what's important when you're in an interracial relationship, especially as a Black person, if you're gonna be with a white person, is that that person not only be compatible with you and loves you, but they have a certain level of racial consciousness already and a willingness to learn more and to recognize that this is an ongoing process of them learning for them to be able to be a good partner to a Black person and a good parent to Black children. I think we saw through the process, I think we saw in what little that we saw of Vic and Christine, because they barely gave them any fucking camera time, but if what little we did see, we saw them having that conversation. We saw Christine herself bringing that up, like, oh, how do you feel about your children not having a black mother and me being, you know, a white woman, and what different things and how we should take that and how we should approach that. So I think she's illustrated like what I think is essential, like somebody who is willing to recognize that, somebody who's not going to practice some kind of color blindness, and the fact that they're having those conversations. And from everything that we could see, Vic and Christine are extremely aligned. I hear people say like, oh, there was a bunch of different Black women in the parts. If he wanted to be with a Black woman, he could have been with a Black woman. At the end of the day, I think we do need to remember, while yes, we are more likely to have more in common with somebody of our own race than somebody on the outside of our race, there's still exceptions to the rules, and people are still individuals. And the reality is that man is a college professor, a whole PhD having scholar. Old girl Christine is a speech pathologist. I think they're more aligned. I think those two people happen to be really aligned and happen to have things in common, and it worked for them. I think, you know, f it. I like them. We ball. Like, we ball. Feeling it. What can I say? And you know what? Before I even move on, this video is sponsored by Flexi Spot. I have been dying to tell y'all about my Flexi Spot chair. Oh my God. Look at this thing. This chair is everything. Not only is it huge, soft, and so comfortable, it not only reclines backwards, it swivels. And it rocks. I love this so much. I abandoned my old office chair immediately. And now I have to keep my office door closed at all times because my cats are quite literally dying to sink their claws into this leather blue slate greatness that is my chair. And as if the chair didn't already go crazy enough, it has a concealed storage space and a USB charging port so that I can sit right there in my chair at my desk and comfortably type up scripts like this one for hours. And the chair comes with a variety of additional features. I really love this chair, no cap. And lucky for y'all, you could not only have you a chair like this too, but you can also get a discount using my promo code LOTUS30 to get $30 off and free shipping. Check it out by clicking the link below and don't miss out. Again, use my exclusive code LOTUS30 to get $30 off and free shipping. Thank you for sponsoring the video, Flexi Spot. Now back to it, because I have an order what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Kevan, Keya, and Tyler first. But while we on it, since we're talking about the Black people or the lack thereof on this show. So the only Black male representation y'all could have come up with for this season was, okay, y'all give us Vic Fine Ass. Y'all give us Vic Fine Ass, and y'all gave him 11 minutes of screen time. Okay. Then y'all give us Kevan. Now, then y'all give us Devonta. And the gag about y'all giving us Devonta as Black male representation is that Devonta would shoot y'all with his big gun if he know y'all had the nerve to think that he was Black male representation. Let's talk about Brittany and Devonta first while we at it. Because that right there is some funny shit.
Saturday and Sunday, it's football.
Oh, music to my ears.
I knew in the pods Brittany and Devonta was gonna be jokes for this reason, because it was clear that Brittany liked Black men. She dates Black men in real life, and she thought the name Devonta was a Black man. And if you was Brittany is an Afro-Latina body, which means in real life she cleans up, love her. So imagine in her mind, she thinks she talking to Devonta, a man named Devonta, and she just know he could love her. She was never even, my girl could never have fathomed that man wasn't gonna be attracted to her. But I know what The Rock was cooking. From the second she basically said she knew he was Black in the pods, like she was like, well, your name is Devonta, so I know what you are. And he was like, but I can free French for all you know. And then immediately after that, he started telling her a story about how you don't know his daddy. That was him trying to say, hold on. Don't call me Black. You don't know that. Don't mind this name. Don't call me Black. I don't know that. from where I come. Like, in my mind, you would have think she'd have been able to pick up on the fact that dying your true kinfolk, Brittany, if you see what I'm saying. But in her mind, what kind of named Devonta? And he ain't, listen, Devonta, Devonta. No E, no Y, Devonta. It's crazy because he tell a story about how he don't know his daddy at all. He was like, he only ever seen his daddy one time at a football game. He didn't even know that was his daddy when the man hailed him. And then when he got to the car, his mommy was like, did you see that man? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, that was your daddy. And he said he never see him again. And that's so interesting to me because his daddy clearly named him. His daddy clearly named him. I don't understand what type of man showing up to go name baby and no one be in the baby life. It's a damn shame. But Devonta don't claim no kind of black. I know black. I know black. I know color. I know person of color. And it's funny because Devonta don't look good no matter what you like. Big gun. Devonta don't look good. So it's crazy when Devonta looked at one of the baddest bitches in the house and was like, ew. Ew. Immediately he was like, I have never had, I noticed Brittany is a woman of color. That's something I've never done before. And let me tell y'all, from the minute Devonta realized that gal wasn't white, Devonta's chest been tight for the rest of the season. He can't even speak. Like, he can't stomach it. He's be looking at her. Every time she start talking to him or trying to get close to me, he's be like, all right, I'm feeling sleepy. Let me go to bed. He don't like her at all. Like, when I tell you he want to get away from her, he ain't on her run at all. And it's so crazy because I know men like that. I have met men like that. There is nothing you can do. You could be the baddest bitch out. But a man who think only white is right ain't gonna never see it. Ain't gonna never care. Okay? Ain't gonna never care. You could pick up the raggediest white girl right now and put it in front of Devonta, and he'd be more excited for that raggedy white girl than he care about any Brittany. And unfortunately, Brittany realized that something ain't right. She realizing that this man ain't affectionate towards her. She realizing this man don't compliment her. She realizing all these different things. But the problem is, Brittany is so hot up to get married. And when I say hot up to get married, we could talk about just how hot up to get married. But Brittany is so hot up to get married that she don't care. She trying to make fetch happen. It's so sad to see a woman who is like so desirable. Like, this is a beautiful woman with a great personality and all of the things, who come into the show saying, oh, she's celibate right now. She waiting to have sex or whatever till she get married. But this man's starving her for affection so heavy because he don't like her. That the next thing you know, she's saying to him, I mean, we can have sex if that's what you need in order for you to be affectionate or touch me. And I'm so bad, like, girl, he don't like you. And it's so sad seeing like what it means for somebody to want to get married so bad. Like, they're just so inherently into the idea of a wedding and just saying they have a husband or being a wife that they don't care if they don't get anything from it, because Devonta is nothing that girl wants. Same way he ain't attracted to her, she ain't attracted to him. But as we learn every season with Love is Blind, this is the difference, right? What we have learned from this show, like the experiment and all that stuff or whatever, inherently is a bunch of foolishness that I don't subscribe to. But anyway, if we were gonna engage it, we know that love is not blind. It has never happened on the show. Never, ever, ever, where somebody was not attracted to somebody in the thing, they wasn't feeling them, even if they got married. Because the only time I could think of them getting married where they wasn't really attracted was when Jarrett and what was that sweet light-skinned little bubbly girl, man? What she was named? I just see it the other day because she just got remarried. Hold on, let me look. Ayana. Boom. The only time I could even think of the man actually going through with it and getting married to a woman we know he wasn't attracted to or didn't like, and you know what? They was divorced within a year or two, because that's how it is be with the men. Now, the women, however, they could be not attracted to the man and still force fetch, because that's something we train to do in life every day. Every single day, women decide to make relationships work with men they know they don't find attractive or ain't up to snuff or whatever happens, because we have a society that's conditioned to make us feel like we supposed to just be trying to build with men and make a square peg fit into a round hole. That ain't nothing new. Every season of Love is Blind, we are shown a gaggle of women that outclass a gaggle of men in every way. And it's the women bending over backward, doing nimble gymnastics, trying to make shit work with these raggedy, good for nothing, nobody who don't nobody want in real life, and these ugly Gargamel, gargoyle ass silly who sometimes is being employed, broke, ain't flushed the toilet, down bad. It's not the nerve there to be looking at these women like, brother, you know what it is for the from cat scratch, you cat scratch, looking at Brittany like she ain't nobody. And yet he is. And yet he is. But my girl, the thing is, I realized how pressed Brittany was to be married when her and her mommy at the dress rehearsal, they already had a dress. Because it was like before the show, she gone out and she picked a wedding dress. And her mommy's like, we have so much faith that it's gonna happen that we bought it for her. I was like, oh Lord, this is mental illness. Like, that's the problem right there. It's like, this ain't about the man. This is not about the relationship. This is about somebody who is desired to be a wife, to be married their whole life. And then clearly we see where that kind of thought process comes from. And she want to make it happen so bad. She feel like she 32 time, whatever, that she will take anybody. And when I say anybody, I mean anybody. Because like I say, she ain't attracted to this man neither. He don't talk to her. She don't complain that she feels so alone by like 2 days into them being in Mexico, wherever they was. She was crying because this man don't even want to talk to her. And it's crazy because I feel like it reminds me of AD season, where it was like Clay obviously doesn't like you. He ain't coming home. He ain't this, he ain't that. And let me go just say, because it ain't like Brittany just convincing herself. Obviously these men be playing in their face, gaslighting them, because he could easily just be honest and say, you know what, like, I made a mistake. It's not working for me or whatever, XYZ. Like, I don't think this is gonna work or whatever, like, da. But instead, these men will detach. They will completely detach, stop giving you the things that you need and want from the relationship in hopes that you have the balls to say, oh my God, I'm not getting what I need, and leave, because they can't bring themselves to do it. And then he just keep, every time she confront him about all the things he's not doing X, Y, Z, he just gaslighting her, trying to convince her, oh, I'm just not a man who likes to talk. I'm not a man who likes to hug. I'm not a man who likes to kiss. I'm not a man who likes to share life together. I'm not a man who likes to be excited. I'm just a man who want to go to sleep, right?
I accuse you of capping.
And it's just because he don't want to do nothing with her. She wants to get married so badly that she just is prepared to accept it. Like, she was literally saying, she keeps saying a lot to people, she's like, oh, he's a man of few words. I know he's not going to gush over me in my wedding dress. I know he's not going to tell me I'm beautiful. I know he's not going to do this. I know he's not going to do that. I know he's not going to go do this, but I accept him. Why? Why do you accept him? Why stop, girl. And the last thing I'll say about them, because they ain't getting married, he could say no, she could say yes and embarrass herself same way. You know what, listen, I love AD and my girl is married now, so you know, I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. Even though I watched that, what was it the Perfect Match season? I watched a season AD, I watched a show with AD and the man she married to now, and he ain't no good neither. But anyway, we ain't getting into that. I love AD. My point is this: Brittany can say yes and embarrass herself, and this man is going to say no, and somehow Brittany could be shocked the same way AD was shocked, and it ain't adding up to me. So the last thing I'll say about them is on the topic of the prenup, him saying he want a prenup and Brittany being upset because she don't want a prenup and XYZ. All I'll say about it is this: yes, a prenup is totally reasonable. I don't even understand why Devonta bringing it up, because Devonta know good and well he ain't marrying her. Devonta knew from the minute she walked out and he saw tan skin. I can't even say brown skin. That's how much my man wants a white woman. He saw tan skin immediately. He's like,
I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all.
So he ain't marrying her. So I don't even know what the point of him running off with the prenup is, other than him just trying to find another way for her to pull out. He too grown for that. I hate them kind of men who cannot break up with a woman. Like, they will do everything possible to get you to dump them while continuing to gaslight you every time you ask them whether or not something is wrong. Like, no, ain't nothing wrong. Are you happy? Like, that's how. Anyway, so. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Hey. Jesus. This shit was embarrassing. Let me be clear. Devonta does not and has not wanted that woman from the moment he saw she wasn't a white woman. From the second that Devonta realized that that lady was not a white lady, he had no interest. Understand that is 1000% the reason Devonta had no interest in knowing Brittany the second he saw her, and he completely detached. He gave her nothing all throughout the relationship in hopes that she would end it. And I hate grown-ass this that just can't say it, because even in calling off their wedding on the wedding day, he still couldn't just say to this bitch, she obviously don't get it, like, say to her, I don't like you. We are no longer in a relationship. I am ending this relationship. I am not just saying that we're not getting married today. I am ending this relationship, period. Now, granted, should it be obvious? Well, why, yes. It's obvious to everybody but Brittany. And he's not wrong in saying that it's weird that she already had a wedding dress. That's clearly indicative of the fact that she just wanted to get married to anybody. She's determined to get married. That's true. 1000% true. Brittany is so obsessed with getting married. Like, she sees this vision. This is all she's ever wanted, to be married, to be married, to be married, to be married, that she doesn't give a who it's to. She does not give a shit that the trying to marry is a Ninja Turtle that don't like her, that don't give a she live or die, is not interested in her, don't want to kiss her, don't want to look at her, don't want to talk to her, don't want nothing. And it is obvious. But he should recognize you're a grown-ass man. Use your words. You do not want to have a relationship with this woman. Say that. Stop making up imaginary things, talking to her like it's a little bit of a doubt, you're not sure, blah, blah, blah. Again, should she get it? Yes. Why, yes, she should. But she obviously doesn't. So he should tell her. But Brittany, our girl, I'm not even gonna say she going outside or that it's this and that. Listen, there is not a woman alive that has not had some extremely embarrassing moments behind loving a man or being into a man or being into the idea of a man in a relationship or companionship. There just isn't. There just isn't. So unfortunately, hers are on TV, but I'm not gonna kick her back in too much because, again, lovely girl trying to whatever, child. Anyway, moving on from them because there ain't nothing to go so with them. Now we moving on to Kevan, Keya, and Tyler because those are the only other black people we got in the show. They really played the fuck out of me here.
Goodness gracious. This experiment, if I can be completely honest, this is crazy.
I think you want to learn more about me.
What's your favorite movie?
Interstellar's up there for me.
But I think love is so important and is now like probably the number one priority in my life.
I'm actually surprised I even bothered to finish watching this fucking season because, like I say, this is a show I typically only watch to watch whoever the black couple is, and they ain't even give me none. And I ain't gonna talk too much on them. Kevan, Tyler, and Keya were in a love triangle in the pod. Everybody can stand Kevan. Everybody talking bad about Kevan because they're like, oh, Kevan indecisive. Oh, that's so unattractive to be an indecisive man because Kevan couldn't choose between Keya and Tyler was that upset. Tyler ended up leaving the pods because Kevan ain't gone and tell Keya fast enough that he was choosing her. And then when he gone to go choose Keya anyway, Keya was like, oh, big speech, big speech, big speech. Oh, you ain't actually ready for nothing. Now you choose me. You gotta go boss up, blah, all kind of bullshit. Let me tell y'all what I really think about this, okay? Hammy and Hammy good. I know this could be an unpopular opinion, but whatever. Shoot me with your big gun. In the normal world, yes, it is unattractive for a man to be indecisive. But I need y'all to understand. I need y'all to remember. Lock back in with me. Lock back in with me. It takes a certain level of mental illness to want to go on a show and be hot up quickly, fearlessly, without doubt, to decide to marry a motherfucker through the wall. I am not mad at that man because he wasn't sure about which one of these random bitches he talking through the wall he want to marry. Are you a dead ass? No, please, please, please. That to me is a sign that his brain's still functioning. Every season, every time that somebody on this show, like, listen, we could do suspended disbelief. Like, yes, will I root for certain couples? Will I go along with it? Do I love me some Brett and Tiffany, some Lauren and Cameron, and all of those, and those cute couple of exceptions to the rule? But generally, I have never lost sight. In 10 seasons, I have never lost sight of the fact that you have to be a crazy mother. You hear me? You have to be a crazy mother to go on a dating show and go sit in a room and think that because you can't see a person, you talking to a stranger through a wall, that somehow like that make it more special, that can magically bless it in some way that you can marry. You at your big age is talking about you in love with a stranger through the wall, that you know them so well you can marry them. That's illness, and y'all will never convince me otherwise. Because listen to me, if you're in the real world, you've been a big adult in the real world, conducting real relationships. These are people who've been in relationships with real people they know, have dated for years, gotten to know and not married, or divorced and all these different things. And you somehow still come to the conclusion that you think you could truly know a mother because you talked to them through the wall for 10 days or something? Are y'all simple?
You're stupid.
Like, oh my God. That's crazy. It's crazy. So I will never shame the people who be in the pods and be like, I ain't sure about this. You know, or they leave early or what have you, because that's what normal sane people do. To me, that's a sign. Whenever a person up and leave, like what was it last season when the Asian girl just up and left and everybody was like, oh my God, how could she just leave? They was making a connection. She don't know that. She doesn't know him. Okay? You don't owe these people anything. I said that to say, I'm not bullying that man for that. I'm not. It makes sense when people be like, oh, you came on this show, you wasn't ready to get married, or you wasn't sure. People could be ready to get married, you know. A man or a woman, a person could be totally ready to get married in the abstract, and that's entirely different from being, I'm ready to get married to a mother I don't know, that I can't see, that I have never dated, that I have never done life with, that I am talking to through a wall. And in Kevin's case, Keya and Tyler was pretty similar. They were pretty similar to me as the audience who could see them. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't think that was a big deal. Love them, beautiful girls. Keya and Tyler, beautiful girls. Beautiful girls. And dressed down, all the things. But as far as like, people thinking that like, it's not giving villain make, that Kevan was like, yeah. I'd be unsure too. It would be different if Love is Blind was like Survival, where people really fighting to be on that show. Y'all might not know that, but there's people who be bending over backwards to get on Survival. I went on a date one time with a man back in the day whose life dream was to get on Survival. And this man had been trying for cycles. Like, it really is a whole big thing over there. But Love is Blind? Love is Blind casting process is shooting the DM to raggedy online. Like, that's actually what they do. They shoot DMs to Instagram and LinkedIn like, hey, you want to come on this show and do half the time the men is telling them they ain't looking for marriage or whatever. All Love is Blind is taking a bunch of random and people who are like, let's see. So it makes sense to me that people come on the show and they're like, oh, let's see if this go anywhere. They be unsure, they be indecisive, because they should be if they're not out of their minds. Anybody hot up? Any woman, to me, hear me and hear me good. Y'all just, again, any woman that has experienced the dating world and knows how much you could be dating a man, knowing a man, living with a man, and a man could shock you, could betray you. If you are 30-something years of age and are not in a relationship, you have never found a relationship that has worked, whatever have you. I don't know what would make you feel as hot up as Tyler was for Kevan to be like, please, relax, dear sister. But that's my 2 cents on that. That being said, that doesn't mean that I don't know that Keya and Tyler was out of that man's league. And that was another thing too. As I'm watching Tyler carry on and do all this behind this man, I'm like, you wouldn't even look at this in real life. If y'all saw that man in real life, they wouldn't, Keya and Tyler wouldn't sneeze in this direction. He could never pull either one of those women in real life. And another thing, Keya knew she didn't like that man in the pods from day one. Everybody keep talking about how Kevan indecisive, blah, 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 blah. How Kevan needed to tell her Kevan needed to make a decision. We need to talk about the fact that Keya knew she didn't like that man. Keya didn't like that man from day one. She never liked him. So she could have broken things off too if we really want to get funky with it. Okay? She is the one who see Tyler and they're fucking losing her mind, spazzing. She loved this man. She needed him to pick up. Oh, la, 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 la. He needed to make a decision. Keya over there like this. Chilling, not sweating nothing, knowing she don't want that man and ain't break up with him. So anyway, I said it to say that love triangle is irrelevant to me. They didn't give me nothing good and black that I could sink my teeth into this season. Next couple, Emma and Mike.
What's your name?
My name is Mike. How about you?
Mike, I'm Emma.
Pleasure, Emma.
Pleasure.
Emma and Mike is so silly because, and I'm not even going to talk about them long because this really don't require no long talks. And let me be clear, they're both just as silly as one another. Because if you know that you absolutely want kids and you know you don't want no kids, you have 16 people you could choose from. Probably 14 or 16 bitches want children. What the you look like picking the bitch who don't want no kids? And Emma, what the you look like picking a man who want kids? And I know everybody have a lot to say about Mike pressuring her to have kids and all this and whatnot, yada, 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 and all that, which he did. Emma quite literally invited him and doubled and tripled down on her decision to invite him to keep questioning her on having kids. Because Emma knows she don't want no kids, period. She keep coming up with all these different things. Oh, I don't know if the children, I was adopted, so I don't know my biological family. I don't know if I could carry on disease, if I could get on my birthmarks, this, and the next thing. She was coming up with all different kinds of things. And she don't need an excuse. She doesn't need an excuse. She doesn't need a reason. And the tea is that it ain't none of them things. She just don't want to have kids. And that's okay. She just doesn't want to have kids. But she refused to say that. She continuously presented it as something because she knows. Again, this is the problem with all these women being just so hot up to get married because she would get married so bad. Think about Emma wanted to get married so bad that the man she wanted to pick was Connor. She'd gone to Connor like, oh, you're my first choice, X, Y, Z. But Connor having sense. I hate the fact that we could talk about Bri later because I could drag that bitch for filth. But Connor was smart to not pick Emma because he knew that he wanted children and Emma don't want him. So he chose Bri. But Emma's so hard to get married that she gone right there and gone to go marry Mike, her second choice, who she was just ready to cut things off with to go pursue old boy. But because that's all she had left available to her, she said, okay. And Mike, just like her, he just looking for somebody to get married and have his kids. Don't care who it is. Like, whatever it is, let's go do it. And she continued. Even her mommy, her family tried to speak up for her because they know she don't want kids. They trying to advocate for her interests. And she like, oh, but I could change my mind. A person can change their mind. And girl, what the f***? You ain't want children for almost 30 years. You didn't want children for almost 30 years. You've dated men in the real world and you don't want no children. But now, because you want to get married so bad to a stranger on TV, you could convince yourself that this man has convinced you in 30 days to have kids. Silliness, yeah? Absolute silliness, because they had no business getting married. And they did. I just saw the weddings, so let me give y'all my thoughts. Let's start with Mike and Emma, since that was the first wedding. I assumed, I don't know, I must have seen it. I must have assumed that they got married and he said yes, because it makes no sense that not only did he get proposed to a woman that he knew was unsure about children, you proposed to marry her in an experiment where you would have to get married in 30 days. So regardless, you set it up, your whole plan was to try and talk this lady into having children with you within that 30 days. And he did it. She literally asked her on the spot, on the altar, whether or not she wanted to have kids with him. Like, she had to make the decision in front of all her friends and family, his friends and family. He asked her right then and there, which creates the impression like your answer is determined based on what she says. And she said, yes, I want to have kids with him. She gave him the answer that he wanted, only for him to still say no to her. What was the point?
What was the reason?
There's nothing wrong with knowing you want to have kids and knowing you can't marry a woman that doesn't want kids, or whether or not you feel she's unsure about having kids, then don't propose to a woman you know doesn't want to have kids. And him being like, oh, I need her to be sure, I need it to be 1,000%, a woman who really want to, well, you knew that it was never going to be clearly an 1,000% that you believe, because he asked her on the spot at an altar whether or not she wanted to have kids, and she said yes. So what more could she say to assure him? Like, so he asked that for no reason. If you had already determined in your mind that there's no way that this woman is gonna truly be sure about having kids by the day of our wedding, that I'm not gonna believe it, it's not enough assurance, then what was the point of getting up there on the altar and asking her that, making her answer that, and her saying, yeah, only for you to leave her? That, let me tell you something, that was some bullshit. That was some absolute bullshit. Like, the lesson there in Mike and Emma is don't be willing to compromise your serious values and your serious deal breakers for some man. It's that simple. Because that woman knows she don't want to have kids. She let that man run on in her head for 30 days, just trying to muscle her into wanting to have children. And even when she acquiesced to what the man wanted, like, yeah, I want to have kids now, I can see a family with you, only for him to embarrass her in front of everybody and on national television. Like, what was the point? What was the point? And for some reason, I don't know why Emma ain't processed that as crazy as it was, because she didn't get mad at him. She was still talking to him like they together. Like, I don't even understand it. That was some bullshit. Moving on. Oh, Amber and Jordan.
I think the biggest misconception that people have about me is like, it's kind of a big oaf.
I'm often not the best with first impressions. They're not gonna want this like country bumpkin.
I'm not gonna talk about them long. There's not much to say. I don't think, whether or not they get married, I don't know, but I don't think they should, because I don't think they're compatible. Amber is too grown and mature for that little ass Bonnie Rubble. She just is. My girl has a child and she owns a home. And what really blew me, we're gonna talk about men and their insecurity with home ownership this season. We're gonna come back to this when we talk about Chris, because I'm gonna kick that back in. And Bri, because I'm gonna kick that bitches back in too. We're talking about home ownership. It really blows me, because it happened 3 different times in the season. Jordan have an apartment. You have an apartment that you rent. You have an apartment that you rent. You have an apartment that you rent. But you can go to this woman, this grown woman with a child and a home that she bought, that she has since remodeled, decorated, done things to a home she's had for years. Look at this woman's whole home that she has made nice, and think she and her baby should have to move out the home. The home she purchased, the home she owns. Cause you, who don't own shit, who rents an apartment, want to be close to the city, you want to be close to downtown, more to do. More to do what? To do what? What you gonna have to do if you married and have this baby now with this woman? She have a child. What downtown you want to do so bad that you think this woman who has a child that goes to school in a school district where the home is owned must uproot theyself because you want to be close to the city? You know what that reminded me of? In How I Met Your Mother, when Ted Mosby was dating Stella and they was engaged, and he thought, he who lived in an apartment that he rented and shared with Marshall and Lily, he thought that Stella and her child should have to move out the home they own to go live with him who don't own shit. These men, y'all think, oh. Anyway, that right there, that's really it for me for them. But the only real problem that they have this season is they had a little spot where Jordan was saying, you know, he couldn't see himself getting married until he's met her daughter, which is reasonable, right? Because like, I can marry you and I can marry you and become stepdad to a child I've never met. I understood why Amber wouldn't be hot up to introduce her young daughter to some man she don't know, but that's also why I don't understand why a grown woman with a child, with a young daughter, would be on a show getting engaged to a man she don't know to come bring a man she don't know into the house with her child. I'm so sorry. I think that shit is irresponsible across the board. And people, y'all don't know these people. Y'all do not know these people. No. That shit don't make no sense. Jordan and Amber got married, and I was surprised by that. I have several things to say. First of all, love Amber. Think she's great, although I don't. Y'all know my thoughts on bringing your children on these shows. And I also didn't like that they gave my girl the orangiest of orange foundations on her wedding day. But nonetheless, Amber is my girl. But I would have hoped that she had said no to this. Like, she literally said when she said I do, she expressed that she understood if he didn't say I do because she wasn't sure. And, you know, she was like, oh, I come with a lot. I hate the idea of this woman feeling the need to frame having her child and her life as a lot, as though some man needs to be willing to accept her like this some peach on the beach. And it didn't help. I think her saying that at the altar was also brought on by the fact that her brother chose the moment before she walked down the aisle to tell her that he don't think they're gonna get married. He don't think that Jordan's gonna say yes and shit, which is nuts. Like, even if you want to be the real her family person that tells her what's what, you could tell her that shit another time. That's not moments before she walked down the aisle. No? Okay, to me, the idea of marrying some man that you think you hoping is willing to deal with your situation being you having a child, or deal with you or acclimate to that, it didn't make no sense to me. I knew from the time that he saw her house and he out here talking about she got to move to the city and all this, like she don't have a child, that this is a man who is not up to the task of being her partner or being a father to her child. That was reaffirmed to me on the wedding day when he was talking to his family about them needing to move to the city and how, you know, it'd be inconvenient for their Amber's daughter's actual daddy and all of this, and yet he's still going on with this stupid ass plan. And even his family recognized that what makes sense is for them to stay where they are in Mount Vernon. If this gal have a home and her child is in school and both her and the father of her child live there, to be able to take care of that child together. But so I already know that Jordan head ain't on straight, and Amber, you ain't cooking with grease to be dealing with this man. But nonetheless, he sat on the altar, and still it was very like, he said I do, but he was like, I'm just gonna follow my heart. My heart's telling me to say I do. Why do we want to marry men who are unsure? I don't know. But the minute he said I do, I was like, them gonna be divorced. I give it a year. They will be divorced. And I don't say that negatively. I like Amber, and I don't have any problem with Jordan, but that pairing is just not compatible. Moving on. Next couple. Let's talk about Ashley and Alex.
I won't really approach women unless I have that, physical there to start with. That's a fault that I'm admitting now.
I really like speaking with Alex. Me and Alex do have sexual chemistry.
Let me stop with this, because I noticed some of you, y'all are missing. Some of you, I see a lot of people online, y'all dragging Alex, and y'all, oh, Ashley, and you feel bad for Ashley. And Ashley voted for Donald Trump. Let me explain something to y'all. Ashley and her entire family voted for Donald Trump. Obama. Ashley and her entire family voted for Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Ashley and her entire family don't give a if you live or die. They don't give a about you. Y'all sitting up feeling bad for Ashley? Yeah. Them. I don't care. I don't give a what happened with Ashley and Alex. But let me tell y'all, let me give y'all all my thoughts. But I just want to say that. As far as y'all out here, like, whoa. Drag Alex because he ain't shit. That's true. Let's drag Alex. Because he didn't vote for Trump, but he told us if he did vote, he didn't vote for Trump because he don't vote. But he told us that if he could, he would. And it's also important to know, we can talk about that. He said that. I need you to understand. Alex said that. He said that to her father to try to impress her family. He said that while he was being cross-examined by her daddy and grasping at straws for how to impress them. So when the daddy asked him, oh, who did he vote for? He said, oh, I didn't vote, but I would have voted for Trump. And I'm proud of it. Because that tells you what he knows from the gal he with about her and her family, that he knew he needed to say, oh, I would vote for Trump. I vote for Trump to impress them. Y'all looking at Ashley, a white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes who voted for Donald Trump in Ohio. In Ohio. She didn't vote for Donald Trump in New York. She voted in swing state, Ohio. And y'all worry about her little feelings? That's who y'all feel bad for? That's y'all upset because she chose a tough. No. And in fact, let me tell y'all something. Alex don't like Ashley, right? Alex doesn't like Ashley at all. He doesn't like Ashley at all. And I find it very funny. It's so funny, white men. It doesn't really make a difference in my eyes in terms of how to perceive him, but we don't even actually know whether or not Alex is truly a Trumper or just a who don't give a flying about politics one way or the next, has no principles and whatever, and just will say whatever to impress this woman family in the moment. But anybody who's okay with saying something like, yeah, I would have voted for Trump and I'm proud of it for any reason is a piece of shit. Whether or not he was being serious or not. What I find funny is them type of men who have because it says something about how you think, how you see the world or whatever. And yet, who he liked? Afro-Latina Brittany. Soon as he saw Brittany, he was like, that's what I like. That's what I like. This white woman here, he didn't want no Ashley, he want Brittany. And I find that so funny that in one breath, he talking about, if I did vote, I would have voted for Donald Trump and I would have been proud. In the next breath, he want the Afro-Latina body. And I, personally, him not being attracted to Ashley is actually very funny and subversive to me. I like that. Because you know what Trump supporting Klan rally goers, you know what Trump supporting white people in Ohio think is beautiful, the beauty standard? Ashley's in them. So she can't even fathom. She thinks she's the prize. My girls can't even fathom that this man ain't attracted to her, let alone be attracted to the likes of Brittany and them. So I like the fact that this man right here, out here bucking the system, he here like, blonde hair, blue eyes, My man say, I like him black and beautiful. I like him dark and beautiful. Get me some Brittany. But anyway, that being said, Alex is a bum and a liar, and we knew that. I knew that from Alex is a textbook boy. I don't even feel like, I'm like, gee, if you can't spot that Alex is a boy at your big age, like, what have you learned in life? What kind of discernment do you have? But Alex around the place trying to present himself, I was gonna go pro in soccer, and I have money, and that, I just be stock trading, and that. Alex ain't got no money, ain't got no job, ain't got no home. He just is bounced around from place to place, traveling all the places, and bitches. And again, the whole issue they have is just that Alex don't like Ashley. He don't like her, so he don't be on a run. At one point in time, he wasn't really having sex with her either. And I liked this season the fact that Devonta and Alex and these when they realized they don't like these women. This season they was trying not to touch them, trying not to sleep with them, only for the women to be begging, you're not touching me, you're not having sex with me, I'm not sex, I want physical touch. They don't like you. They don't like you. Why are y'all begging these? They don't like you. That's why they're not you. And I appreciate that. I'm so sick of season after season after season seeing men who's sitting up all over the confessional telling all the men how they don't like the woman they with, or she and they type, but they all over the place. Every Batiste and old girl. What was his name the other season? Was that name Madison? Was it Madison? His name was Joe? It was Joe, who was still even though he didn't like her at all. Joe felt about, I think her name was Madison. Joe felt about his gal exactly how Alex feel about Ashley. ain't on her run. It's not on her run at all. But Ashley's still there trying to make fetch happen, trying to interrogate him about his life. Like, she trying to put the timeline together and put the pieces together. Because she asked him, like, oh, where'd you live? Where'd you stay? Da, da, da. And she started piecing together, like, this man was just his ex-girlfriend, like, 2 seconds ago. He was doing this, he was doing that, he doing this, he doing that. And she getting mad, okay? They really get bad when they do one of those, like, cast meetups. And this other gal who was in the pod, who we hadn't seen up until this meetup named Priyanka, who happened to know Alex in real life. Let me tell you, I know Alex cursed her the out over text later because she stood up in front of Ashley and started telling all Alex business. She was like, oh, so I thought you moved to Austin. I thought you were living in Austin with your girlfriend, the traveling nurse. I mean, she was telling it all. Yeah, Alex was hot. But the whole time, Ashley getting mad, working herself up, I'm just like, girl, you're not marrying that man anyhow. He's not marrying you. Open your eyes. But I'm telling you, it's hard for them kind of people, the way they see the world and what they see Ashley's inherent value in, just because she's a blonde, skinny, blue-eyed white woman, they can't fathom it. Even when she was trying on the dresses, her sister, who is like a plus-size white woman with blonde hair, so, you know, again, they think this girl, they think Ashley's the pinnacle is desirable, and her sister was like, no, obviously, she's stunning and deserves this and deserves that, and I was like, it tickles me. I promise y'all, Alex is a piece of shit. But if I'm looking at, to me, what are a bunch of white Ohio piece of shit MAGA supporting white supremacists? The one that's gonna be my favorite is the one that bucking the system and gonna make these white, blonde, blue-eyed, blah, make these white, blonde, blue-eyed white people feel that stuff. That funny. Because it's so shocking to them. I know her family. I know they almost spit. Them Ohio white people, when they watch the season back and realize that this don't like their daughter, they don't like her, but he wanted Brittany. I love that kind of shit. That's my kind of shit. The daddy, it was so funny when the daddy was questioning him. I realized, like, as an attorney, I was like, oh my God, this man have to be a lawyer. Like, this is an excellent cross-examination. Like, this is a literal cross-examination. I had quite literally pause what I was doing to go like, I'm like, oh, this is a cross. Like, this is effective. This man, it was so crazy because I liked her daddy for, like, this I was going. I was like, oh my God, he eating up this cross-examination. It was clear that her daddy immediately clocked this man as a who don't put down roots nowhere, who ain't serious about nothing. And his questions, he was hitting him and he wasn't missing in a beat. No kind of sob story or excuse that anything Alex throw at him was stopping him because that man, I say, and literally, as I'm thinking, this is a perfect cross-examination, he was like, oh, I'm a lawyer. And just when I thought I loved her daddy, that's when the Trump thing happened. And I say, no! And it was crazy because the daddy was so unimpressed by Alex, as he should be, right up until Alex started gassing him like, I gotta vote for Trump. This was me. I was disgusted by the fact that I had liked that man 2 seconds before when I thought we were lawyers who see each other.
And my day is ruined.
Child. Anyway, those people are not getting married. Alex is going to say no. They're not getting married. So I want to say this because I knew everybody. I knew that Ashley was going to try to have a girl boss moment at the altar. I literally didn't want them to ask her first because I wanted to hear his answer because I didn't want it to be trying to be swung around like, oh, she was going to say no and all of this. But my girl, she says no, which she should. Those people shouldn't get married because he was going to say no. He had no interest in that woman. Let's be clear. She ain't showing him who's boss. He had zero interest in that lady. That was evidenced by him saying it 9 million times all season, showing her that repeatedly, and showing up to the altar without so much as having a tailor look at his suit or getting a haircut or anything. My boy was only there. He was there so he don't get fined and to go about his business. He was never saying yes to that woman. She said no, as she should have, but she took that opportunity to give a long-winded speech. A long-winded speech. Not only was the speech long, like she kept going back into it when the conclusion had already been reached. Even after he responded, trying to be as diplomatic as possible, she still felt the need. It was clear she wanted to insult him. She wanted him to feel hurt and embarrassed because she gave her speech tearing him apart. Oh, I don't like you, you this. You're not a man of integrity. You was lie. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. I'm about girl boss, yada, 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 yada. And then the man responds. And she still come again with saying no to you was a win. A girl, okay. And it's like, you trying to hurt again for what? And why am I supposed to be clapping? I'm going to reiterate this, but there's a world where y'all think being a girl's girl can have me rooting for this Trumpy lady. Okay? Like, y'all fucking remember. Everybody like, oh, she deserves so much better. Does she? Does she? And I'm not saying Alex deserves better. I'm saying we know he don't, but she doesn't either. I need y'all to understand that. Okay? We cannot girl boss feminism our way into supporting bitches who vote for fascists, okay? I need y'all to understand that. When you look at Ashley, what you need to be seeing is how fuck Ashley sees the world, okay? And Ashley don't see the world no kind of way like me. So I don't got no love for Ashley. More importantly, let me say this. All of y'all girl boss clap into this speech, hypocrites. Hypocrites. Because I remember, I've been watching Love is Blind long enough to remember when Zanab gave Cole that speech on the altar and everybody, oh, you're so cruel. Zanab's so cruel. Zanab's so mean. Zanab's so delusional. She's so horrible. She was trying to hurt him. Blah, 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 blah. Because Cole cried, right? So because Cole cried and they showed that one little scene about the tangerine, it got rewritten that Cole was some kind of good guy, a victim of insecure, delusional Zanab. Meanwhile, we watched that man all season talk to and about Zanab like a dog. We remember all season. And so everybody, if you wasn't clapping for Zanab deciding to get her girl boss moment and tell him what's what, and Zanab didn't even do as much as this girl did, if you ask me, because she kept going. Ashley kept going. Go look at the runtime on that and how many times it paused and it naturally concluded, and she kept on going because she wanted a reaction from him. That's why she jumped back in with the, oh, saying no to you was a win, even after he talked like, girl, what? I'm so sorry, y'all. That was OD. It was ridiculous. And I see everybody online trying to girl boss it and trying to like hate his mommy in the audience, being like, oh, his mommy is exactly like those toxic boy moms who support their daughter and everything, support their son and everything and blah, blah, blah. Because the mommy was annoyed that she got dragged out. And the mommy is a nomad who be driving around the country. She was forced to come stop what she doing, come to a wedding just to hear a gal talk bad to her son on the altar. She's supposed to be into that? Y'all gotta be fucking for real. Who parents is gonna sit down at their wedding and hear the person at the wedding talking about their child and like it? Get your off. Get y'all off. Like, Jesus. No, it was ridiculous. It was OD. Say no to the go. My God. Like, please. It was too much. You heard me. That's my unpopular opinion. I don't like this, like, rewriting this, like, oh, Alex is a bad guy and poor Ashley, she deserved better. She looked like a bad. She don't deserve better than shit. Okay? She doesn't deserve better than nothing. That's the nigga she wanted, and if he wanted her, she'd have picked him. Let's remember that. The only reason she ain't picked that man is because he wasn't picking her. Period.
He kept talking about how I'm like not his type, and I was like, you're not my type. You guys did good. I won't lie. It would not matter if Alex was not the hottest man alive. Fortunately for me, he is. He's fucking hot.
Let me start with Chris and Jessica.
My name is Chris.
I am Jess. You can be the most gorgeous man. If you open your mouth and say some stupid shit, you are not going to be gorgeous to me anymore.
I knew, let me tell you, I knew that Chris wasn't shit from the second we met him in the pause. Like the second we met him and him and Jessica was talking, and I knew, and I said it to CJ, I was like, I really hope this overachieving, adult, intelligent woman who have lived a life don't pick this little ass who ain't never accomplished nothing, because this boy ain't serious about nothing. Let me tell you what I knew. I knew what it was gonna be when in the pods, Jessica told that man that she was an infectious disease doctor. An infectious disease doctor who was doing all kind of work during a global pandemic, and he did not ask one follow-up question. Let me tell y'all something. We just be joking and doing our little kiki and stuff like that. Your girl was a lawyer who's a decorated academic with a very successful career, who's done all kind of dope things like Chew Out the Mayor on the Breakfast Club and all kind of shit. And what I have learned through my dating experiences is men who are intimidated. And when they are, I'm telling you, they will not ask you one question because they won't follow up with nothing you tell them about an exciting, riveting career, because they don't want you to tell them shit else that can make them feel small. I knew when that woman said to that man, I am an infectious disease doctor, and he didn't ask one follow-up question. Oh, I knew what it was. I knew what the Rock was cooking. Because then he spin around and in the pause with Bri, he didn't ask Jessica shit about being an infectious disease doctor. Nothing. No follow-up question, no acknowledgement of that as special, not even a, oh wow, that's cool. Not shit. But when Bri say she's a senior, she work at Bath and Body Works or whatever the I knew right then what it was. I know them kind of They want you to do like, oh, he want to feel like a big man. And I knew it. I say, watch this little ass leprechaun ass be in it. And I can't, let me tell you something. The only thing I can't stand more than a man who feels small and intimidated is a man who knows he feels small and intimidated, picking a big deal, picking a woman he knows is a big deal, only to act brand new later and suddenly insecure that she's a big deal. I hate them kind of. I hate them kind of. I knew that's what he was. This man, let me tell y'all something. That little imp of a man's only problem with Jessica was that she was a big mother deal. Let me tell you something. And let me tell you how I know. He was nice, liking her, feeling her. Everything was sweet. Everything was all good. Yada, 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 yada. When she went to go see his apartment that he thought was nice. Oh, his apartment nice. He was feeling good about himself. He liked her. Da, da, da. When he saw that bitch $1 million home, first of all, before we even talk about him and his insecurity, let's talk about good Jessica home look. Jessica home looked so good that I saw Jessica house and I was like, let me get my weight up, nigga. That how I said, that's how the you supposed to be living when you in Ohio. I'm like, y'all, man, y'all live in Ohio. And I said this, I went to college in Ohio, by the way. I lived in Ohio before. Ohio was my second home. Okay, I love me some Ohio. I lived in Ohio before I moved to New York for law school. I went to college at Ohio University. Okay, so big Ohio over here. I said that to say, y'all living in Ohio. You was mine. You living in Ohio and you can't afford to live good. You can't afford to live good with the cost of living in Ohio, but you want to take you a big. You want to stop like a big mom? Tough. But the minute he saw her house, it was like, it's so irritating because everything you knew about her before then should tell you she was bigger and better than you, that she was gonna be living like that. But somehow it wasn't until he seen the house that it crystallized exactly what the disparity was. And that is the only reason why that man started trying to fish for a way to make her feel small. All of a sudden, her body ain't this, her body ain't that. Bri body, he want a woman who, this my height. And I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm a 5'2" queen. This person was my height. And ain't no big body, ain't no small. Nobody would look at that man and go, oh, he's strong. He has to be in the gym every day. He can sit in front of Jessica and tell that woman, the special infectious disease doctor who live in $1 million some home and who's slim, who is small by any metric. He can sit in her face trying to tell her, oh, he ain't attracted to her. He wants somebody who go to Pilates, who work at the gym every day, blah, 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 blah. But in the same breath, you talking about you like Bri. First, let me just start right here. First and foremost, Bri is not in any better shape, is not slimmer, smaller than Jessica at all. Not at all. If anything, Jessica's smaller than Bri. But second of all, you can't be trying. There's nothing about. I need y'all to understand. There was nothing honest. Like him being like, I'm just being honest. That's how I feel. And started. No, he wasn't. That's the guy. Not only is he disrespecting her, he's not telling the truth. He's actually deliberately. He's like, I wasn't trying to hurt her. He was though. That's exactly what he was trying to do. He wanted to make her feel small because he felt small. He wanted to establish a hierarchy that put him on top of her. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to make her feel bad, but also make her feel like she needs to run behind him, like she needs to impress him, like he's the catch. Like he in a position to turn her down. And so now you're trying to make her feel bad, juxtaposed to Bob's Burger in the face ass Bri. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Because Bri is a bitch anyway. So ain't no point in me even sitting up here and pretend she don't look like a fucking Bob's Burger character. No disrespect to Bob's Burger, but that's exactly what the fuck she looked like. Put it on the screen, Aaron. Put it on the screen. Right? And let me tell you how I know it's all about money and those dynamics and all these different things. Because when that little bitch ass goes to go be talking in these hoes' faces, once he and Bri face trying to flirt with Bri and Dirty Mac and talk shit on Jessica, he leads with. He goes out his way to say, especially after Amber did already slick humble him and say, you think you're gonna find a hot doctor again? Like, you think so? He volunteered out of his own mouth. And this is how I know from his drunk mind. Listen, this is how I know from his drunk mind what it really is. First things out of his mouth to Bri was something like, I don't care how much money she has or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's what you're thinking about. You feel small and insecure about our financial situation. And the gag was him saying, oh, I don't care about none of that. But then how he was trying to sell himself to Bri was like, oh, you need an alpha. You need a mom with a Charles Schwab account. He was trying to flex to Bri as though he's a big money. And that's how I know what he was really upset about. You don't feel like a man with Jessica because you don't have those things to come to the table. This man cursed out of his own little ass mouth. This man dropped the words Andrew Tate out of his own mouth unprovoked. So we already know what kind of incel manosphere stupid this is. So what he's upset about is that the dynamic that he wants, he want to be alpha. He kept talking, oh, I'm alpha. That's how he was trying to dirty Mac and talk shit on Connor to Bri's stupid ass. So we can talk about that dumb bitch in a second. But how he was trying to like talk to Bri was by being like, I'm alpha. You need an alpha. Connor ain't no alpha. You know, I have a child swap account. I have money. I have this. I can take you to the 4 seasons. And that's what his problem is. He want to feel, to him, to feel like a man is to have a woman that make him feel like an alpha, feel like he have something. And Jessica has too much for him to be able to flex like that and do like that. But he feel like Bri is far more tender. Like all of a sudden, he felt so good walking around like he was that showing his little apartment off. And then he saw Jessica's house and he didn't feel good no more. And that's why he wouldn't be in Bri face and like, oh, I have money, I have this. That's all it was. That's all it was. But Bri is a stupid bitch. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about her.
My friends and I joke, we're like, we've given a lot of medium ugly guys some chances. I know that's savage to say, but like, why'd you break my heart? You're only medium ugly.
Every season, they give you at least one woman who's as bad as the men. Oh, every season, they give you at least one woman who's as bad as the men. And she's usually blonde. And she's usually blonde. I didn't have no problem with her in the parts. I actually, to me, it made sense. Connor picking her. I'm like, oh, Connor is nice, lovely. I don't have anything negative to say about that nice man, other than I don't know why you accepting this bad treatment from this regular, degular, nobody bitch. I don't know why you letting her treat you like this. It's unbelievable to me. That's my only qualm is like, why don't you see that this bitch is playing in your face? Why? Like, she be disrespecting him to his face and it's almost like he don't hear it. Like, that's my only confusion with Connor. But it made sense why he picked in the parts. He had been talking to her and Emma. Emma don't want children. He wants children. So like a smart man, he chose the bitch who wants kids and wants the things that he wants. And they seemed like they was getting along. And I could have never fathomed, looking at Bri, I don't know what about Bri would lead Bri to think that she's that bitch. Like she is the prize. I don't know why she feels that way. I knew that Connor needed to go throw her back where he got her from. When they were already on the trip, they was in Mexico, and they go and they do the first like meetup with all of the group, and she's upset that people aren't acting like we dated before. I felt like there should be some big moment and talking that and it was clear. This girl just wanted to be acknowledged by the men. She wanted them to act like she means something to them. Like, y'all don't know each other, you loser. She was like, we were all dating. We were all like, these are my exes. Girl, what? Seek help. But it was clear that she just wanted to talk to Chris. She wanted this little ass. It's so crazy. Let me tell you something. Being that kind of goofy bitch that wants an alpha, and that alpha is a little.
He's already dead.
Anyway, child, she want Chris' attention. And I feel like Connor should have picked up on that from then when she was running on to Connor's face like, oh, I feel like, we should have been pulled aside and this is to the next thing and blah, 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 blah. So that was I already knew what it was from then. Then when she was in Chris' face, letting Chris like, oh, flirt up with her, suggest this the next thing. She talking like she don't know if she really with Connor, all of this. I'm like, look at this dirty bitch. Look at this dirty bitch. And then every chance she gets, she was disrespecting Connor. And just like I call them other people, I call her Jordan and Chris on how to carry on big boy homes. Let me talk about this gal. She goes to Connor's home that he owns. And she, and like, you hate you, either that you hate a man or you're that stupid or delusional or full of yourself, because she going around all season talking to her friends and family, his friends and family, calling him a boy, talking about him like he's some like little boy who needs to grow up and da-da-da-da-da. What the bitch? He own a home. We went to your apartment, you was rent, and we went to his home, he own. He have a keg outside. He have a keg because he can have a keg when you own shit. Bitch. Okay, when you own your house, you can put a keg outside if you want. That's like somebody coming into my house and be like, oh, look all this weed she got. Like that, like, is he not growing anymore because he have a keg? He owned this house, bitch. This man have a job. He own his home. He's serious about what the you running on with? What are you running on with? Because she just don't like him and she's a no, that's really what it is. She's a bitch. She's a bitch. When I knew she was like the worst kind, oh boy, the worst kind of. After Jessica and Chris break up, I even forgot to mention how Chris trifling ass after he break up with Jessica, the first person he gone and meet up with is Connor. Knowing he fixed it to try to steal Connor gal, he in Connor face, acting like he's Connor bestie, acting like he's trying to get advice from Connor. But the next time you look, he in Bri face talking big shit on Connor. Dirty macking like, oh, I don't think you can marry him. I think you want an alpha. You don't want no man like that. I know you ain't serious, da 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 da. And she right there entertaining it. Like, this girl was there with the other gals. When all the other gals was there, oh, she was talking with them like, oh, how Chrissy ain't shit and Jessica so dope and blah, blah, blah. As soon as Chris bring his drunk leprechaun ass to come talk shit about Jessica, all of a sudden she's like, I see where you're coming from. You know, I'm not picking sides and yeah, and da, 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 da. And she feeding right the into it. A whole trifling bitch. And then she sit there and let this man talk to her about, oh, how he's so attracted to her. You know, he's an alpha. He knows she want an alpha. Connor ain't gonna never be an alpha. Or you want a man with a Charles Schwab account. You want a man who could take you to the Four Seasons XYZ. That girl was in his face, going along with all the stuff. She actively facilitated it. And for some reason, I see some women online trying to shoot her bail, being like, oh, I think maybe she got a bad edit, or maybe that conversation was edited to make her look like she was more into it than she was, because I think she did get the ick and blah, blah, blah. Y'all miss me with this bullshit here. When a bitch show you who she is, believe her. First of all, you know she was into it, and she was into that man from time, because from the minute she saw him and they went to the first event, she was trying to find every different way to facilitate having some conversation and being up in his face. That woman, he came in her face, drunk, undesirable, talking shit on another woman, and she... all the other gals leave. She stayed to have that conversation with him. At no point in time, you see how rude and disrespectful and how much hard mouth she get out when she talking to Connor. But y'all think that if she really wanted to shut Chris down or tell him what's what, she wouldn't do it. She would just sit there and have the conversation. And the only reason you even saw her look like she got any level of ick from him is when he made it clear that it ain't trying to marry her. He trying to do. He trying to have a buddy. That's what he said to her. Like, oh, in the real world, I think he'd be buddies. It was only then that she felt like, if you ever had any doubt that she was in fact entertaining everything he was talking about, because after she had that conversation with little imp talking to her about, oh, out for this, out for that, out for this, out for that, the next thing you know, she in Connor face talking about, oh, you know, she think he's taught her how to love and that he really loves her, but she don't know if he's really the full package or if she's just settling, if he's the man that she's supposed to be with or just the man that's supposed to teach and help her get to her next man, because what she really looking for is an alpha. And then she said to him some shit like, she was like, I'm not used to being alphaed and I want a man who like cares about, like she literally regurgitated the exact same fucking bullshit that old boy had just downloaded into her brain like a silly bitch, because he was telling her, oh, I know you want alpha, a man with a Charles Schwab account. And then she going into Connor face and was like, oh, you know, I want a man who out alpha me and a man who have like a nice car and a home, like, and I want a man who has a nice car and a nice house, who cares what things think about him. That girl fixed her mouth to say to Connor that when she saw his car and stuff, she was like, oh, his car says that he don't give a shit what people think about him.
Well, excuse the fuck out of me.
And somehow, like I said, my only problem with Connor is that bitch was quite literally in his face disrespecting the fuck out of him. If he wasn't clear, it seemed like he wasn't picking up on the fact that it was disrespect, because he just still kept responding with how much he loved her and how much he realized they love each other and how much they would get married. And does he like finally just come out and say like, oh, like I'm not getting ready to get married, like it would be a no for me if I decided now or whatever. And he still somehow walked away thinking like they in this together and he knows how much they really love each other and like what a future. And you could literally see by the confusion on her face like, wow, this man really ain't processing that he ain't getting it. And he wasn't getting it. I literally cannot wait to see the reunion, to see like what he has to say now once he see you what it really is. Cause child, that bitch ain't shit. That bitch ain't shit. Those are my thoughts. Oh, let me get my reunion predictions before I go down. Vic and Christine will still be good. They'll be great. Devonta and Brittany are probably gonna be on the stage with a bunch of drama. I could see Brittany is gonna be somebody who feels led astray and bamboozled and upset about how he probably ghosted her after he left there, because my girl wasn't getting it. This man was literally like breaking up with her, like, oh, we'll be in touch. And she still was in her confessionals talking about they still together. She know they're gonna get married and all of that. So I know that like Delusion, there's a hard fall from Delusion. So I expect Brittany to be upset on the stage. I expect Amber and Jordan to be divorced. I don't see that. I don't see that for them. I expect Ashley and Alex to be having conflict on the stage. Lots of drama around Chris and Jessica and Bri. Gonna be plenty drama around all of that. I think that's about it. I think those are my predictions. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, it's your lucky day because you just found it on one of 7 channels inside my Olurinati-verse. Subscribe to Olurinati, my flagship channel, where you'll find my magnum opuses like If Pretty is a Privilege, Ugly is a Curse, How This Didn't Age Well Destroyed Media Literacy, How Men Become Aziz Ansari, and more. Subscribe to Olurinati Pop for my TV and film essays on shows like How I Met Your Mother, Sex and the City, Desperate Housewives, You, Euphoria, Insecure, and so many more. You can also join Olurinati Pop on Patreon to watch all of my YouTube videos uncensored. Subscribe to Olurinati Bites for short, serious, and nuanced commentary on whatever the internet is spiraling about. Subscribe to Olay and Chill if you're trying to laugh and chill while unpacking the latest TikTok chaos. Subscribe to Olurinati Politics for sharp breakdowns of the political moments shaping our lives right now. Subscribe to Olurinati Extras for music commentary and industry deep dives. Subscribe to Olay and Friends to watch your favorite Black thinkers and creators dissect the culture. Subscribe to any or all the channels in the Olurinati-verse that speak to you, and I'll see you there. And you can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky at Olurinati. And you can also follow Olurinati Pop and Olay and Chill on Instagram and TikTok so you never miss a thing.